All right, we'll line up. Okay, let's run through the 10th form. April Fool. All right. Okay. Now let's do the second form. Ari, you gonna do second form? Okay. Social distancing. You got a new mask on. That's a big one. Oh, double. Oh, okay. All right, ready? Actually, Marguerite, you're here. Yeah. Okay. All right, ready? That's a rarity, right? Thursday. Hoi. Okay, good. We remember that. Deep breathing. Do Bangbu-kun. We can shift up a little. Okay, ready? And shift this way. Okay. Good. Deep breathing. Okay, good. Fourth form. Ready? Oh, jumped the gun. Okay, deep breathing. Okay, how about eighth form? Eighth form. Okay, ready? Second half, yeah. Hold. Okay. Okay, deep breathing. Okay, so any questions? Did we miss anything? Yeah, open the window. Yeah. No. Yeah. Actually, you haven't been in a lot of these classes, but so you have 0 and 45 and 45, right? So if I'm on this side, if I'm stomping here, then my torso would be 45 before going back to 0. So you don't have to deal with this side because we're coming this way. If I'm here, then I'm here. See? So you don't have to do that because efficiency of the motion, you're here, then you're here. You don't even do this, right? So in other words, if I block his, there's two hands, right? Yeah, it's here. Then he would go from there, stomp, right? Then he would come right up. You see what I mean? So you don't even, when you go like this, right? You don't even have to do this. Because you do this, you actually broke the continuity of motion. You're here, right? And I move in, then it comes into here. From here to here, right? Oh. And I'm gonna have to wear rubber gloves in class from now on. Okay, so that's why. Now, when you do this movement, don't do this. That's too flat. Turn. So when you're here, you're in the horse stance. You are facing here to here. But once you're in this direction, you fold and you thrust. Then you turn. Now you turn to the side. So turn to the side goes the horse stance. This is drop, like a drop stance. 1, 2. See, there's a stomp. Yeah. So the front foot don't even have to rush like that, Lars. Once you stomp, take a lighter step forward. You're still too heavy. Light in the sense that don't put weight on it. Keep the weight back first. So you're still stepping. So when you're here.
I still have the weight back. And your hip is still a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah. still a little uncontrolled on the front. Yeah. So it's like Tai Chi, but here, 1, 2, right? 1, 2. So this just gives you a sense that that should happen. We don't stop. It's just that if you don't control your front sensitivity and the transfer of weight, then that's going to be too heavy. The reason why you don't want to do that is because if you block someone like this, right, and then you go like this, and you're falling out of balance already. You can't do this. You're going to get, yeah, you're committed. The stomp is really like any of the styles, like a ki or whatever. It's sort of putting in a spirit in there. So a lot of times the stomp, actually it's also footwork. You don't have to actually stomp. Because I'm moving in, it gives you a sense of rooting, but you don't really need to do that because that's just for performance, really. And if you were to stomp, you're not going to stomp the back leg because there's nothing that you're going to be defending against or using it. When you stomp in the front leg, there's a chance that you're in a front position, and then you're going to. But stomping is one of those things that in performance, it's like making sounds. Yeah, it's emphasis. It's a focus. So in Bangbukun, they have that. In Chen style Tai Chi, they have that. So it's the part when you put then you're rooted. So even when you stomp, it's not like a dead stomp. You're like here. If you did a dead stomp, the shock actually will injure your knees and the rest of the soles of your feet. So you're really absorbing. But that's a footwork, part of a footwork. And then you go in, yeah. So the sliding step actually, I'm here, right? So this is a sliding step. You're moving in. So you're moving in. Then you comes in. So you're closing that gap. So, yeah. So you're going, it's like fencing. But you're doing that. So that's the idea. It's a lunge, right? Like a lunge punch. So you thrust and you punch. So we get our basic ideas understood, then we can, sort of implement the concept if the body behaves. Anything else? That's it? No? Peter, anything? Okay, so let's do those 5 punches. Those 5 punches in kungfu. What 5 punches? No. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 5 directions. There are more than 5 punches, but we did Sulong Pacho last time. That's a water punch. Right, cover this. This is the basic 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All building timing and direction. Huh? Yeah, always should the rear hand actually, when you do a reverse punch or the flat punch, typically it should always have a sliding step. Yeah, that's sort of standard procedure, but we sometimes miss that. You're here, 1, 2. So when when we learn it, 1, 2, 3, right? So that's breakdown. So you have a timing between the horse and the leaning. But if he throws a punch and I intercept it here, it goes like this. You don't actually stop in the horse. You're going through a transition here. And then from here, we're moving forward like that. And you see that's the disruption. So when you're here, it comes in like this. It just smothers you as a technique. it's very ineffective to do this. Oh, it's not effective because the timing between is too slow. You have to implement the movement on as soon as you block. You have to start to move in to strike, because you don't want to give your opponent a recovery time. So while we learn it, that gives you enough, timing and building of the body mechanics for your movement. Then the structure, you do your middle block, right? So you have to have a little bit of bend here and focus here. This is relaxed, right? And then you do your sliding step and punch, yeah. And then this has to still be somewhat fluid. Yeah. As you 1, 2, 1. So that was another. So if you were to practice just those two movements, right, just as a drill, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. So if you look for the body form and the posture, what do you see? You see this. 1, 2. You see there's a position and a structure directed to the middle. 1, 2. So you see there's a consistency in the position. So when you're here, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's what you strive for. But when you move to the side and you go 1, there's 1 there, 1 here. So that framework, their form, and there should be identical. Now the chambering of the fist that Peter asked about, when you're going 1, you're here, punch. During the step, you set this up, 2, 3. So that's kind of the breakdown. But you don't break it down like that in application. You're moving from here. You're not moving from here. Because if your hands are up like this and he throws a punch, I have to come in like that. So because he came on the side, I reach up here, but then I have to come back to here to get my framework. I don't leave it here. I have to drop it here. So you're here. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're low here, then the rise of the movement appears to be a lift, but it's really because the body had lifted. 1, 2. Because I'm here. So there is a movement, but it's tied to your transition. So when you do that, so that you make sure you have that, then you have strength here. Then you do your punch. Yeah, and then do it again. Do block again. Okay. All right, punch. Yeah. So do it again. Punch. Yeah. So again and punch. Peter, you want to do it? Punch. Okay. Again and punch. Okay. Ari. Sajid. Yeah. You do it either way. I'll. Okay, John. Okay. Paul. Okay. Rob. Kim. Okay. Sonny. No. Okay. Okay, so you see the focus is a little bit different on the intensity of movement. It's a setup. So mine, do that again. So just do the first movement, right? He does the first horse stance, the middle block, right? So when he does the block, he has a lift from the torso, but he also doesn't not just move from here. He moves from here. So your block is actually pretty full. Then he does the punch, and he blocks again, and he punches. So the most important part of the punch and the block is the setup, like he did, right? Then when he does his punch, you notice that when he punches, that he drops and he keeps his elbow down as long as he can. So because we're going like this, and then you let your punch out, you didn't set up enough for the. So that's just fundamentally, the idea of how you have to generate that punch. So you have to keep your elbow down, and then you execute, and your target position has to be that formation. It's always square to the corner or to the side. So that's your torso body form relative to space. So you always have to be pretty aware that when we turn, see, when I turn this, like horizontal to vertical, right? So horizontal, it's horizontal. His punch is like horizontal, to approaching vertical to vertical, right? So here, I intercept 1, 2. You don't wait till you're here and do that, because your setup is here and then here, depending on. So this becomes part of the sensitivity of the block. When I'm here, it's just a structure that's there. Once it's deflected, it can stay there, and whatever he does, I'm still aware that it's there. That's the reason why we don't go like this. Because if I go like this, what does he do here? Comes into here, right? So if I go like this, he can't do that. He can't change to an elbow, because I know this. I know that this is here. So that's what you do when you intercept an opponent's arm. You have to know where your opponent is. So this is the best way to track it. I don't even have to see what he's doing, because I know that there's the openings there. If he dropped his hand, that's going right there. You see? So that's a sensitivity. If you're holding this for dear life and he drops his hand, you're still going to be there, right? So what you have to do when you're here, he's there, he reacts, boom. So I have no power because it's so short, right? So I'm here, and I turn, he drops, boom. I held it back, but so you're here. 1, your hand would just shoot out. So you're here. You shoot, boom, boom, boom. That's right from your boom, boom, boom. Right. So that's how the stuff works. So when you block, you strike. You block, you strike. You strike. This is still alive. It's not a dead position. Yeah. So you're here. Yeah. So here, this is alive. 1. See, this is alive. This one. Yeah, but it's thinking because I'm finding most potential. This is here, boom. So that becomes either this, or this, and this. So now that becomes like a pick or a that. When you like this, I go like this. 1, 2. Right? So because it's like this doesn't mean, right? So that's when you're like this. That's like this. If it's like this, this is here. Boom. Then here. So that's why those 3 movements are very effective, because you're here. So that's kind of what you're looking for. So every structure has its position, but then the reason you're in that position is what do you plan to do with it? intent of the motion. So there's always intent, and then inside the idea of the intent, you have to have your body form. So that's what we do. So most of our techniques are based off these very simple concepts. But yeah. So when we're here, corner back fist, boom, finish it, let it go, boom, boom, boom. Once you go like this, then it goes like that. Boom, 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 boom. So then you have two distinct movements. 1, 2. This one goes with the sink. This one goes with the slide. And this one pulls back. Now if you're using it and he punched to the waist here, then it stays. See? It stays for the same reason. Right? Here, because I can move from here. If I'm here, he changes the elbow, I can change to this. Right? So if I'm here, I go boom. I change to this, I can take this. If you fold his elbow, there's your hook. There's your elbow from first form. Right? When you're here, in the back fist. So you're developing the connections between transitions, or where your hand is left. That's how, if you notice, all our forms work like that. We're here, then we're here, then we're there. Right? We're here, this is open, we're here. So if I punch, boom, he turns, boom, and then this comes. Now, if you're doing it as a strike and a combination, if you say he goes high, I block 1, 2. This is strike and a strike, boom, boom. So you have 2 strikes. This is a block and a strike. This is a strike, strike. So, yeah. So this is 1, 2. So in the form, 1, 2. If you break it down, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a cycle. So it cycles. But you have to make sure you have the fullness in the motion. The fullness, boom, 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 boom. The fullness has to be here, and then there. So that's developed from the breakdown. So when you do this, don't let it happen here, because that's not the spot it should be. It should be here. Right? It should be here, not there. Right? So that's the wrong place. That's the right place. Yeah. So those are learned from the breakdown and how we do our forms for structure, transition, direction. We have to have all of those things in place. Okay, so that's enough of that. So you can, let's do opening a full hawk, and then you work with Peter last time, or you can do it. Paul worked with you last time. Paul, we'll let you do it today, because then maybe Rob will do a little full hawk with Peter. He did the right side. You get that a variety of varieties. Yeah. He just did the one side. Okay, ready? Let's go through full hawk. Just nice and slow. This is back to structure. The other stuff is, just how crazy it can get. But right now, we're doing it for wellness. All right, ready? Go. Hup. Salute. So, because we're doing it slow, still go through the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, just in this very beginning, we have a center line. We have one on each side. If they were like this, if you're like this, then that's holding the, when we do the Tai Chi, we're holding that position. So we're here. 1, 2. This becomes a structure. 3. But you have to not just turn the waist. You have to modify your arm position to have structural integrity of that position. So in the reality, in the real world, when he throws his punch and I block here and I turn, it stays there exactly but my body form has changed slightly. This is here. This is here. So now he feels strength in this direction. And I have an equal opposite counterbalance step. So when you step, you can't just go like that. If you go like this and you reach, then you put strength here. I don't put strength here, I put structure there. So the structure, he doesn't feel reaching, he doesn't feel this. Because I don't need to push it out there. I need to be here in case I need to do this and turn this way. See? So that's what happens after. So when we're here, 1, 2, 3. So my shoulders twist, my stance twists, and I step up. Now here's the position, and then it comes up. So turn again and come back up. Turn again and come back up. Turn again and come back up. Turn again, okay? Turn again, okay. So what's it missing? Turn again is to sink your elbow, relax your shoulder. So you watch it closely again. 1, 2, 3, right? Sink my elbow, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Sink your elbow creates the structure here. If you don't sink your elbow, then your arm is tense. When I sink my elbow, so it abides by the same rule that we say elbow and knee. So you watch my knee when I sink my elbow, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, waist, here, here, right? So this is coming up. This is coming out. Sink. That's training your body for strength and position. When you spin like this, your leg takes the force, and it builds tremendous reaction force. This is strength. Squats are strength. Load bearing supports weight. This is bearing weight, but transitional. The muscles that are involved with that stance is not static, it's in motion. So that means it has to adjust and accommodate the strength of the position. And your position is being modified because your center of mass is being modified. So your body has to stay with it, track what's going on, and then it figures it out. And then you build using the correct musculature to manipulate that skeleton. And when you're here, it doesn't use any erroneous strength. The physical strength, like it just does enough to lift the weight or support it, but it really doesn't do anything beyond that other than keeping you from collapsing. But when I go to a position like this, then this has to do something because it has to keep me in position as the forces come into your body. So that's why, as teachers or instructors, you train to do this so you have the ability to demonstrate it to a student or have the capacity to teach a student that this is what you're striving for. Otherwise, that's what advanced skill level teaching is. Everybody can teach form. When people teach form and the students catch up to them on a sequential level, they get bored. They want to leave because they want to learn something different. So to capture, the students' interest, you have to teach them to a level that arouses something different. It's not just a bunch of movements choreographed like dance. It's a bunch of movements that are functional. So that's what traditional martial arts is. When we go to a position, why do we practice like this? It's not for show, it's for training. So learning is developing, the understanding. Training is getting your body to understand that and then, eventually get, accommodated and become a subconscious movement. So this is, sinking the elbow. Now you can understand it. So it's not brought out like, Lawrence, you feel different, right? You feel the difference. Yeah. Yeah. So you turn, and then you're here. When you're forward, your body. Yeah. So that's much better salute. I mean, not that the other one was bad, but. It's good. It's good thing when we, judge tournaments, we don't use our concepts, because then the people would be failing. But so that's really, these are like the nuances that are overlooked or never even seen. So that's what you have to do. Okay, that was too much time on the salute. Okay, let's go. Okay, go. Oh, you want? Oh, fuhak, I forgot that. We still have. Okay, so we still have this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can turn here. 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. 1, 2, 3. 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oh, Mary. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so yeah, I forgot I was on the wrong side. Yeah. So you see everything, break it down, define you, because what are you developing? You're developing control of movement. Oh, in the beginning it's only your arm, then it filters through your body, then your body's moving. You're controlling the two sides. It's tied to your torso, your legs are there, your position, your hand. You're controlling the digits of your hand for different structures. You're here, you're here, you're here, here, here. 1, 2, 3. So when you do it slowly, your body goes through a different change. It makes a transformation. When you do things fast, it's good for performance. It's good to know that you know the form by heart. But you have to awaken the things that are not awake. And some of the things that are not awake has to be, kind of focused on or told that this is happening. But like anything else, if you don't know that you're supposed to do that, then you wouldn't even focus on it. So the more exposure you get to these kind of things, the more awareness you have, and the more openness you have in the mind. Because the mind's pretty closed if you don't have access to some kind of information. So just like all this stuff that you guys do, troubleshooting computers, or when we get stuck, if no one tells you that you have to do this first, you can't guess it. I mean, if you put enough trial in there, you might figure it out. But it's better to have someone tell you that this is what you need to do first. Especially with like this live stream stuff, well, you got to go here before you can do that. You got to go here before you can do that. So when you here before you can do that, right? So when you got to go here, 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 right? Here, here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. This has to be here when this is here. This is here. This is here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And your body, in the beginning, your body doesn't respond. So it's just this. But when you're here, 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 your leg has to compensate. So when you look, so not so much wiggling, but so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So your leg has strength on each side to, yeah. So you're not actually, so if I stand here, right, and Paul, you stand here, right? No. So if I'm here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Right? So here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see this counteracting here. Here. Right? If I move faster, it's like that. So that's what happens in your legs. Otherwise you'd be unstable. You're here like this. That's after. That's right. But that's after the beer. No, but I'm just saying that's what you have to understand. When you're here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So your leg has strength. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Reset, right? Then you're here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Here. 3. 1. The body comes here. Lift your body back up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up. Lift. Lift your back. Sink. Thrust. Sink. Set your hand up. Chun. Open. Sliding step. Palm. Adjust. Cut. Press. 1, 2, 3. The legs are doing the same thing. 4, 5. You see? Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's upper lower coordination. So you have to build the strength from the leg into the body tied to your waist. So your structures, a lot of you, some of you doing it, but some of you are not aware of it, at least try to build that into your movement. We talk about it all the time, but your body has to be ready. When it's ready, you'll accept it. If it's not ready, you have to hear it many more times. But, as long as you hear it and you didn't, let it go out the other ear, then you have housed the information. And whether that information is digested and interpreted correctly, it's really, part of the time. So okay, let's do the other side. So you step, right? So how do we do that? Okay, what's the step? Here, leaning stance, cross stance, step, and you're here. 1, 2, kick. 3, 4, right through center. Lift your back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift. Sink. Thrust. Sink. Chunkyo. Sliding step. Palm. Turn and press. Lift. 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 Turn. 1. And then reset. The center. Pull. Turn the leaning. So turn the leaning. Don't let your foot when you turn the leaning, right? Where we here, 1, 2, 3. When you turn the leaning, Don't let the foot do that. You lose your root. 1, let it close. 2, 3, 4. So that's why your hips have to be flexible, pliable. They're only pliable if you take the tension out of it. Because we do this, right? Right? So we're here. So we have the turning. Turn the hip. Stabilize the bottom half. And you can feel the torque in the leg. But that's working your ligaments and tendons in your joint. So ligaments and tendons only can, be worked like that. So when you stress the ligament and the tendon, they become more aware and they get stronger. So the ligaments and tendons that we stretch, it's all moving that. So the ligaments and the tendons are the ends that they connect to the joints. They really don't have a whole lot of circulation, and if you don't move them, they stiffen, they deteriorate, and in fact, they from what I've read, they turn a little yellow. Typically, it's the cartilage and tendons are kind of whitish, but they turn yellow from, what happens? It's oxidation or whatever, it's dying. So the only way to get nutrients and energy or oxygen to them is if you move it, right? So we move it. We move these joints. We move it. We move it. Turn it. All the joints we have in our body. We don't pay attention to it, but that's really what would happen. So continue from there. Ready? So we're in this position, right? And then we're going to step, right? Step. Kick. Hop. Right? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down. 1. Chun kyo. Sliding step punch. Diagonal strike. Hop. Lift through center. Pull back. Double back fist. Right, left. So you start with your left. You have 3 of them. Right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Punch. 1, 2. Oh, wait. Solar flex. 1, 2. So when you do you're here, right? Turn the body. 1, 2, 3. Let's try it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's do it again. Ready? 1. So this is back. This is strength 2. See, this is here. This is striking 2. So you have 2 sides. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So the 2 sides counteract each other. 1, 2, 3. The old school used to do this. They changed that pretty fast. Yeah. Okay. So sliding step punch. That's a sun punch and then the flat punch. Sliding step. So you have double sliding steps there, and then you go back. Yeah. So Rob, you want to do this? And Peter, can you practice a little bit? Okay. You can go. Do the uppercuts. Over here. Ready? Kwa chui. Yeah. Double back fist. Ready? 1, 2. So put a little fullness in the motion. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's try that again. Ready? Double back fist. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you don't have to turn the horse. You just stay in the leaning. 1, 2, 3. Every time you throw a punch, sink in the hip. 1, 2, 3. So So it gives you a sense of that your body needs to be stable. Otherwise, it doesn't. You don't respond. And then you do your 2 punches. After we do the 2 punches, boom. We step back through center. Okay, let's try that again from the punch. Okay, step back through center. 1. Okay, so 45 degrees, right? So we're here. 1, 2, 3. Shift. Cat stance. Right, so that's how we have to get into 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. See the hand still in a bridge. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, stop, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so shake it up. So that's training your footwork and your stance. 10 Tigers is not just the hand movements, it's the leg movements. That gives you a good chance to know that, you know, when you stomp, 1, 2, shift, 1, right? 1, 2, 3. Gives you a direction into that corner. So a lot of times we're here, it's too shallow. So you want to fill that space. So when you're here and you shift, you're really moving forward, cross, here, turning, you're moving forward, not just laterally and making the movement smaller. But in order to take a full step, you have to transition, shift your weight. The shifting of the weight is how you develop the strength in the legs. If you don't shift your weight and control your center in the legs when you move, then you'll never connect to the bottom with the upper. The upper won't connect with the bottom. So the ma bu is very important. Sungan senyo ma. Hand-eye body weight stance. Without the stance, we did a half a form. Right? So that, you know, the emphasis a lot of times isn't on the legs because, you know, maybe some people don't even understand that the leg work is, you know, like wushu doesn't do the legs. They do a lot of running and jumping. So the important thing is in Tai Chi and Kungfu or Yet Himon, it's the root and the leg. You have to be stable in your stance. And stability in the stance has to do with shifting weight. So we lose this ability as we get older if we don't use it. So your shifting of weight becomes compromised. Not when you're elderly. When you're probably in your 20s and 30s, you already started losing your ability to control your center of mass and weight. Because after you get your career started, you sit most of the time. Now they're standing in front of the thing, but you're not actually doing anything. You know, so the younger people today are actually much more physical, and they do a lot more. But the older generation that didn't do that, you can see the deterioration. So, you know, we have a lot of more senior people here that still pretty active, but you see they're different from the average seniors their age. There are a lot of people in the 80s that's still coming here that are pretty, agile and at least lucid, and they can remember things and they can get through all these things that, the average person their age wouldn't even think of doing it, right? So there must be a benefit. I got to preach something, right? So, anyways, no, I think there is, something to this, but at the same time, I can't really confirm it till I'm their age, because I could say I was 330% wrong. Then I say I'm really totally wrong. I should have. Okay, all right. Let's bow out. It's 2 minutes to 9. All right, ready? Up. Okay. That's it. Actually, I won't really know what I saw until I sleep tonight, and I said, "Oh, a nightmare."